my family. I was often left out of things, but there was one inequity I never could accept gracefully: being sent to bed hours before I wanted to go. And I had to go. No arguments, young lady. That feeling of no control, no say, is deeply ingrained, and if I think I'm being told what to do today, it doesn't go over well at all. But back then, I got mad because I knew I was missing something. I knew that amazing, wonderful things were going on downstairs, while I was upstairs, in bed at a reasonable hour. But one Christmas Eve, something so ridiculous happened that somehow in its ridiculousness was a rite of passage for me. My standing in the Klan changed from child to adult. It's a bittersweet memory because not long after my parents split up and the whole world changed, but in 1971 we were still the Burnses, and that was something special. I learned early that we weren't like our quiet, conservative Midwestern neighbors, apart from being Irish Catholic, that is. No, it was more than being the only papist on the block. My parents had food fights. Marge, you say that one more time, these potatoes are going in your hair. Oh, really, Joe? She said it, he did it, the fight was on. Once a friend came to visit my mother, but was asked to come back later. Mother can't be interrupted right now. She's tap dancing in the bathroom. The bathroom had the best floor for dancing, but it was also the only bathroom in the house, so she had to get rehearsals in when she could. Sometimes we'd wake at 3 in the morning to bass and drums and sax, my father having dragged home the band from the Stardust Lounge, swapping Coltrane for scrambled eggs again. We'd sit in the stairway and watch, laughing, dancing, singing, smoking. Wow. My father was a pilot, and he'd buzz the house on the way home from a trip so we'd know when to start dinner. We'd run out of the house waving, flapping dish towels. Daddy's home! We were the Burnses, my clan, my strength. I was 16 that Christmas Eve in 1971. My father was out visiting, making the rounds, well, having rounds, but would be home in time to open presents and go to midnight mass. Now, for some reason during the past year, he decided he was part Indian, and him with a map of Ireland on his face. But undaunted, he'd break into a rain dance or start chanting in a tongue known only to himself. Inakawatane. Ha! So, for Christmas, my mother got him a kid's blow-up punching bag, the kind with a weighted bottom that had been painted to look like an Indian chief. He stood about 5 feet, moccasins to feather. When my father got home, smelling of fresh snow and southern comfort, and saw the chief sitting by the tree, well, it was the hit of the evening, of the year, all the carrying on, as if he'd found his lost tribe. And when it came time for mass, my father wouldn't go without the chief. He would not leave the house unless his new friend came too. So the 6 of us, extra large in our December coats, plus one bouncing gray, piled into my father's latest car, a 1958 limousine hearse with fins. But Daddy's victory was short-lived because once we were safely parked at church, Mother pulled the plug on the chief. And my brave fighter pilot father cried, "Oh no," as the chief slowly dissolved into the back. Thus also deflated, my father went quietly into church. When Mass was over, we left the pew in single file behind him to genuflect at the altar and go in peace. My father reached the altar, knelt down on one knee, and stayed there. From behind, he looked like a bear in his fur hat and shoulders hunched in his big coat, but he hadn't gotten up yet. We looked around at each other. What is he doing? Just then, he executed a slow barrel roll to the right, over onto his back, and then upright again. Then he just made the sign of the cross and stood up, angelic, solemn. We didn't know quite what to do during all this. Was this a new ritual? Do we help him? Ignore him? Without a word, we all chose to ignore him, to genuflect quickly and get outside before anyone asked. And there we found himself, the patriarch, doubled over, laughing, tears rolling down his face. And that got the rest of us started too. Our pleas of, "Daddy, tell us what happened." What? Just made him laugh harder. Oh, but finally, he was able to tell us. When he knelt down, the heel of his boot got caught in the hem of his coat, and he couldn't get up. Thankfully, when he rolled over, it came loose, but why did he choose the barrel roll maneuver to free himself? His training kicked in. A pilot reacts first, and his family asks questions later. When we finally settled down for bed that night, it wasn't visions of sugar plums that danced in our heads, oh no, but of my larger-than-life father rolling over on his back in front of the altar, in front of the entire congregation. Someone's tiniest little snicker would set us off, laughter bouncing off the walls, bubbling down the hallway from one bedroom to the next. Then we'd stop, catch our breath, oh, so ready for a silent night. But then came the inevitable, and off we go again. So, how was that ridiculous event a rite of passage? Why did an all-night laugh fest elevate my standing in the clan? Well, it was the first midnight mass I was allowed to go to, but wonder of wonders, I wasn't sent right to bed when we got home. I was in on everything, included in all the fun, and with all my family. I thought of this night over the years, after my family was torn apart, but I still needed them. I realized it's the one moment the six of us shared equally, and that all of us remember the same way, with love and sweet nostalgia. There, the clan is still intact. No matter how deep the wound, how long to heal the hurt, the purity of that shared laughter is where all is forgiven. Oh, and I found out I was right about something. Amazing, wonderful things were going on downstairs, while I was upstairs in bed at a reasonable hour.
She lived with 11 years ago.
What's that? All right. Right. We get to choose in life. All right. I choose that you not still be in love with the guy you lived with 11 years ago. How about that? Do I get my first choice? What's my second choice? Can't do the first, huh? All right. For my second choice, I choose that you not be out fucking. You're not comfortable. Oh, you're not comfortable with the language. Yes, that's much better. All right, all right. For my second choice, I choose that you not be out being sexual with somebody else while you're in here trying to get to know me. The one takes 30 years and the other takes 30 minutes. Call me crazy, but I could go for a little of the speeded up variety. Is every woman out there? What's wrong with saying every woman out there? I do mean it. I am being precise. I really believe that every woman out there, every single woman out there, every single woman who says she wants a relationship really and truly does. Except she doesn't want a new relationship. She wants the one she had with some guy 11 years ago. No, in my experience, the time span does not vary. It's always 11 years. I'm starting to think it's all the same guy. Some apartment complex gigolo. No, not just an apartment complex gigolo, a high-rise apartment complex gigolo. Why? Because as busy as this guy was 11 years ago, he wouldn't have had time to waste traveling, walking a few blocks, driving, parking. You all would have had to have been packed in pretty damn tight. Yeah, you tried to tell me. Well, how about next time you try telling me you're still boinking some guy from 11 years ago before dessert? I'll have the cheesecake as no lead into, I'm still in love with a guy I lived with 11 years ago and who I still see from time to time. And by the way, excuse me, what the hell's from time to time? Once a month, once a fiscal quarter, during Rosh Hashanah. What? Twice a week? Oops. Every few days, maybe? A couple times a week, maybe? Gee. What you do? You want to know what you want me to be honest? You want to know what I'm thinking? All right. I'm thinking I don't even masturbate that often anymore. And you're out there with the real thing. Oh, but there's no future in it. And there is in masturbating? It's been going on for 11 years. Who needs a future? I've been married twice, and you still outdo me in terms of a stable relationship. 11 years. That's like my goal. My longest relationship? My longest relationship. What's my longest? That would have to be with Netflix. I'm on auto pay. I know how it is. I know how what is. You and... No, I don't. I don't know how it is. I'd like to know how it is, but I don't. All I know is we're having dinner, the check comes, I've got a mouthful of your cheesecake, and you suddenly turn proprietary. That should have been my first clue. I reach over and take one little forkful of your cheesecake, and you look at me like I'm Helen Keller grabbing a handful of your mashed potatoes. Well, that's proprietary to me. No, I don't know what it means. I think it means get your own piece of friggin' cheesecake. I'm still in love with a guy I lived with 11 years ago, and I don't want your paws on me or my cheesecake. Yeah, well, good luck with that. No, you're right. We're not going there. I'm not. That's just what I want to be, friends. Yeah. I always take my friends out for... No, I don't think you've been honest. You go out with me for a month, 3 weeks. Why 3 weeks? Why doesn't the first week count? Because no intimate information was exchanged? What does that mean? Saliva? DNA? No, you saved the intimate information for after the cheesecake. Except your intimate information is that you're being intimate with somebody else. He gets the intimacy, I get the information. And you get the intimacy and the cheesecake. You said you want. I think I'm scoring points on the restraint-o-meter. You said you wanted to take it slow. No wonder you wanted to take it slow. You were probably exhausted. I don't think I can do that. Because we're not friends. Why aren't we friends? I don't know. Because friends don't withhold intimate information from one another that could be very important to the one and not so much to the other. I don't think it's ending badly. I think it just sounds that way. In case you can't tell, I'm not exactly jumping for joy over here. I'm sorry it's ending at all. But it is. Absolutely. You too. Bye. First week doesn't count. Is every woman out there still not so secretly in love with some asshole she lived with 11 years ago? Aren't there any new relationships happening out there? First week doesn't count. I bet it counted with the asshole.
If I were a rich man, yabba bitty bitty, yabba bitty 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 bum. Will I ever be a rich man? My father almost was. All day long I'd be bitty bum if I were a wealthy man. My father was a professional photographer who excelled in everything he did. He studied under Paul Giddings. Paul got $1,000 a sitting. That's even if you don't buy the pictures. Dad did well. If I were a rich man, yabba bitty bitty, yabba bitty 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 bum. Eventually he started his own business. He did really well then. I remember seeing pictures he had taken, some of his clients. People I knew and people I didn't. Some of his clients included Colonel Sanders of KFC fame, Clinton's in the first year of governor of Arkansas. Dad did very well. October of 1977, my father's accountant told him, if you keep going the way you are, in 6 months you'll be a millionaire. I was 6. I'd have a big tall house with rooms by the dozen, right in the middle of the town. A fine tin roof and real wooden floors below. I remember the last house we lived in. It was one house from being the house at the top of the highest hill in town. It was an old adobe mansion, 3 stories, Lots of nooks and crannies with hidden compartments, wooden floors. I loved that house. It was elegant and luxurious. Crystal chandeliers, velvet drapes, boiler in the basement with steam radiators in all the rooms. I had a bedroom that had a porch that opened onto the roof, and I could walk out and see the entire valley in my bedroom. There would be one long staircase just going up, and one even longer going down. I remember that December day, 1977. The sun was shining, warmer than usual. The school day was same as any other day. Journey home was chock full of uneventfulness. Things changed. When I got home, my aunt and uncle were there. My sister was home, upstairs in her room. My younger brother was home from kindergarten, nowhere to be seen. My baby brother, asleep in his crib. Mom told me Dad had been in a car accident on the way home from a business trip. He had broken legs, some broken ribs, but he'd be okay. If Aunt Faye and Uncle Jim were going to stay with us kids, Mom was going to go to the hospital and be with Dad. The next morning, I got up to find out at the age of 6, I was now the man at the house. We buried my dad on his 34th birthday. And one more going nowhere just for show. We never got ahead after that. We always struggled. I remember wearing socks that were so full of holes they'd make a colander jealous. Having to darn those socks until they no longer resembled socks. Having to wear shoes that were falling apart, but still had to wear them for 6 months because we couldn't afford anymore. Wearing hand-me-downs of hand-me-downs that were too big or too small. If I were rich, I'd have the time that I lack to sit in the synagogue and pray. Maybe have a seat by the eastern wall. And I discuss the holy books with the learned men several hours every day. That would be the sweetest thing of all. My dad had always loved Jews and Jewish things. Dad was adopted. At his funeral, we found out he had been Jewish, but his family had kept the secret from him. For shame. Then we found out my mother was Jewish, and her family had kept it a secret. Same reason, because of shame. I have learned to cherish and embrace my Jewish heritage, something my dad was never allowed to do. If I were a rich man, yabba bitty bitty, yabba bitty 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 bum. Living at home was hell. I fought to get out as soon as I could. Turned 18 my junior year in high school. Immediately went out and got my own apartment. Lived by myself my senior year. Did very well. Hey, I owned my own home at the age of 21. If I were a rich man, yappa bitty bitty, yappa bitty 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 bum. All day long I'd bitty bitty bum. If I were a wealthy man. My father was a professional who excelled at everything he did. I'm the same way. He was very good with a still camera. I'm not, but I'm told I'm good with a video camera. Like him, I sing, I play guitar, good with art and media. Hey, I even started my own business. But every time I start to get ahead, things always come crashing back down. If I were a rich man, yabba bitty bitty, yabba bitty 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 bum. Will I ever be a rich man? Will I ever be a success like my dad? Will I live to enjoy my success? Lord, who made the lion and the lamb, you decreed I should be what I am. Would it spoil some vast eternal plan if I were a wealthy man?
Matthew, you stay by those swinging slides where I can see you. Come on, young couple. Come on, oh, good girl. Good girl. Yes, I know you love the mama. Oh, why didn't I listen to Mama? Oh, she told me this would happen one day. I didn't believe her. She said, you get married, maybe even if you don't, it's going to happen. You're going to find yourself pregnant. It was bad enough the first 2 times. Now it's twins. Oh. Boys, where are you? You better stay there. I can remember that first time I didn't listen. Well, no, maybe it was the time after she told me about being pregnant. It was that husband. She told me not to marry the husband. But did I listen? No. Now I've got 4 coming. Oh. Yes. What was that, boys? Of course that's not true. I don't love the dog more than you. Well, she does listen better and obey better than you do. Go play. That's okay. We know who Mama loves. I can't tell them that one of them are my favorites and you're my favorite. Let's see. When was that last time after the husband? Oh, it was the boyfriend when I was 16. She told me not to date him either, but did I listen? No. Not at all. You know, I can tell Mama what the boy said. Where's the phone? Oh, every be a storm. Yeah, it's been a storm. That's for sure. White snacks. Sunglasses we don't need those. I need the phone. What else is in here? I don't get all this stuff out of here. Oh, water. Grocery bag. Keys. Can't ever find that stupid phone. Wallet. There it is. There it is. Mom? Hi! Yeah, it's me. Yeah, I'm doing what you said. Yeah, Mom, I'm staying in bed. I know I'm having twins. Yeah, we're at the house right now. No, Mama. I'm not at the park with the boys. No, I'm staying in bed. No, Mama, I would never not do what you said. Yeah, I'm a good girl. Yeah. You're not going to believe what the boys said. They just asked me told me that I love the dog more than I love them. Of course, it's not true. I know she's my baby. No, it's not true, Mother. Really? Okay, so it's true. Hey, Mom? You know, I've been kind of thinking, I kind of can remember the very first time that you told me not to do something and I didn't listen. No, it wasn't about the twins. No, it wasn't about when I got pregnant each time with the boys. No, it definitely wasn't about when I married Erin. No, it wasn't about Damon either. That was when I was 16. Mom, give me a break. No, it wasn't when you told me not to climb that tree when I was 8. You really want to know when it was? It was when I was 2. Yes, I can remember back that far. I know you don't believe it, but I can. Yes, I was 2. You told me not to touch the stove. But did I listen? Nope, I reached that little hand out right there and just touched that stove. And I can still feel that burning on my fingers right now. You did. You told me not to do it, but I did it anyway. Yes, I know. I love you too. Hey, Mom. When was the first time that you remember not listening to Grandma? Oh, it's when you were pregnant with us. It's always going to go back to pregnancy with you. Oh, and when you married Dad. Grandma didn't like Dad either. They must run in the family. You mean these girls I'm carrying, that they're doomed for me not to like their husbands? To be? I think I'm going to change that role. No, Mother, I always do what you say. Yes, I would never dare to not listen to you, Mother. Yes. Really. Well, so when was this other time? Oh, I never heard that story. You mean Grandma told you not to sneak out of the house when you were 6 and you did it anyway? You crawled out the window when you were supposed to be playing in your room because you were grounded? So see, I come by it naturally. Oh, you really were a character. You know, Mom, that really gets me thinking. This must all really be hereditary. Way back way. You know, Walter, stop trying to kill your brother. No, Mother, we're not at the park. No, you can't kill your brother. If you kill your brother, God will put a mark on your forehead, and you'll never be able to go anywhere or get married again or any of those type of things. Just listen to your mother. Mother, he's not going to listen to me, is he? See? It goes down and down and down. Hey, talking about him killing his brother. think about Cain and Abel. That's the first two boys. They didn't listen to their mother. Eve told those boys to stop fighting. She did too. They did not. Cain killed Abel, so he did not listen to his mother. Man, that's a long time to not listen to her. All the way back that far. But it had to start from somewhere. No, it couldn't have, Mother. I know exactly when it was. God told Eve and Adam not to eat of that tree. And she was walking in the garden that day all alone. And she let that old slithering snake talk her into taking that fruit. No, it wasn't the snake's fault. The snake didn't tell her not to do it. God did. Mama, I gotta go. I just had a brainstorm. I've gotta go. Bye. I knew it. I knew it. This is proof now. God, you're definitely a woman. Only then could none of us have listened to our mothers.
You're beautiful just the way you are. Don't worry, you'll be better soon. Two main sentences I'm told over and over again, day after day. And for what? There's a part in me that always whispers, why don't you tell them who you really are? The person inside of you that's just horrible. And I want to, always. Rip off these extra layers. Show the scars that will never heal. The line across my stomach from always wearing too tight pants to hide the weight that I will always have that's too much. Rip out my heart. Show every bruise and cut and what happened each time. There's a line from a song I remember. Here you're safe. Here you're warm. Here the daisies shelter you from harm. And it's true. That's where I feel most safe. Hidden in the forest away from prying eyes. Beautiful. It's this word we have to show something close to perfection. Yet I would rather be called innovating, inspiring, a leader, a warrior, a help to this broken society we live in. I remember when I was in 7th grade, and I was in the bathroom, and I was a chubby kid. I was 175 pounds in 7th grade. I was in the bathroom, and these girls come in, and they're talking to me, and I was popping a zit, and they come up and they say, hey, you know, if you wear this concealer, it will really help. And I tried to tell them no, I didn't want to, but in the end, I walked out of that bathroom with a 3 shades darker forehead than it used to be. And I didn't say anything because I didn't want to be different. Girls walk around day to day with more makeup, more perfume, and shorter skirts, more revealing tops. And it's not to be pretty per se, but to stop the incessant bullying. Guys are peer pressured into drugs and sports and not doing what they're told, but the girls are bullied into beauty, into starving away the ugliness, vomiting away the insecurity. Those girls found me again, talking to me about lipstick and stuff like that, telling me how much it would help, and I snapped. I told them, no, I will not be who you want. I won't be this Barbie you want me to be. I want to be me, not what someone else wants me to be. I just want to be myself. And I left, running away crying, being the drama queen I always have been. The next day, they cornered me in the bathroom and wouldn't let me leave, telling me about this thing called blush. I didn't know what it was. What's blush? Oh, it's this great thing. It'll help like brighten up your cheeks and make you a lot more prettier than you are, which, trust me, you need help with. And I didn't know what to say, so I said, well, I guess. So, okay, I'll try it, but just this one time, okay? By the time I got that last okay out of my mouth, I was sprawled across the floor, holding my cheek, which was red and pain, because they had slapped me to show me how to put on blush. And the only thing I could say then was, yeah, blush would work better, wouldn't it? Don't let your beauty be drowned out by others' opinions. Be who you want to be. If you want to wear short skirts and revealing shirts, do it. If you want to cake on makeup, do that too if it makes you feel better. Wear a tutu and sweatpants and a really fancy shirt at the same time. Don't let others' opinions on beauty tell you how to be, because their ideology is so much different than yours. And even though there is no perfection in human world as we see it, there's happiness, which is ever so close. And you'll notice that as happiness sets in, that monster inside of you will move out.
I grew up terrified of who I was. I loved women and girls, and I knew this was a terrible, shameful defect. Nevertheless, in second grade, I wanted to propose to Miss Perry with her bottle blonde hair and her red lips. And in fourth grade, Mrs. Mountcastle was so fair and southern and intelligent. And in sixth grade, it was Mrs. Rouse. She was older, but when she leaned over my paper to correct my spelling, I could smell apricots and cigarettes from the teacher's lounge on her breath. I wanted to rescue them, especially Miss Perry. I wanted to be like the Lone Ranger on my silver stallion and take her away from bandits and bad men on my horse. I wasn't sure what we would do once I rescued her, but we would live happily ever after. From 7th to 12th grade, I went to an all-girls school, and I was in a state of perpetual arousal. In 7th grade, there was Barry Barr, who was full-breasted and had this strange blue dot on her cheek, the result of a pencil stabbing by her brother some years before. And there was Ellie and Louise and Jennifer and Rosie and so many teachers, and I never said a word. I kept myself in a Gardol shield, protecting myself so that none of the bad stuff would leak out. I thought I was hermetically sealed and nobody knew about my secret. In college, I decided to go to a co-ed school because I thought maybe I just needed to be around more men. So I managed to fall in love with a guy in my freshman year. But sex at the Harrisburg, Pennsylvania Holiday Inn was horrible. When he went to NYU for his junior year and I went to London, I thought, well, I'll just get more practice in. And I practiced with a lot of guys, but I usually ended up on the ceiling with my body down below. My last best hope for a happy heterosexual life was Brian when I was 26. And I was his last best hope too. We'd go out to dinner in Philadelphia and he'd tell me about all the guys he picked up in gay bars and took home. And it was really great. And I would tell him, well, there was nothing to tell. I was still wrapped up. But I would tell him I had crushes. And then We both knew it was getting serious when he invited me to meet the family, his sister and brother-in-law and their 2 kids in Rye, New York. We got up there on a November afternoon. It was cold and it was kind of dark, and the neighborhood was fancy with beautiful stucco houses and manicured lawns and shiny European automobiles in the driveways. We walked in and there was Harriet, his sister. She was tall and lean and suntanned, even in November, and very welcoming. We sat there in the living room and talked, and they gave us cheese and crackers and tea, and then some wine. And after a while, Mike, the husband, went to a back room and he came back with a little box and a mirror. Cocaine, Harriet said. Cocaine, it's a surprise. Cocaine. I looked at Brian. The only recreational drug I'd ever taken was marijuana. And I hated marijuana because I'd get paranoid that some of that dirty secret part of myself would leak out when I was stoned. So the last thing I wanted was pot, and maybe cocaine would be that way too. I looked at Brian. Oh, it might be fun, Jane. Okay. So Mike started chopping lines, chopping and chopping, and we snorted lines after lines, and it was so much fun. We talked, and Harriet and I sat in the living room, and Mike and Brian went to the sun porch to talk about the film business, and everything Harriet said was fascinating, just intense, and she had wide hypothalamic eyes that focused on me. And eventually Harriet said, "Okay, Mike, time to go out to dinner." "Harriet, it's midnight. Nothing's going to be open." "Oh, we got to go to dinner, Mike." So we all got together and got into the Jaguar, and we drove all around White Plains and Rye and New Rochelle looking for a place to eat, and there was nothing. Mike was right. Nothing was open. It was too late. So we get back to the house, and I'm assigned to the daughter Becky's room. Becky's spending the night with a friend. And Brian's in his nephew's room, and he's also spending the night with a friend, the nephew. And I lay in bed in this tiny little bed, very wide awake. I didn't know it was the cocaine, but I was like, whoa. And I kept thinking about Harriet and how intense it had been. And then there was a knock on the door. Whoa. "Hello? Jane!" It was Harriet. She was wearing a mink coat and cowboy boots and nothing else. "Well, hi. Come on." She said, "Get up. We're going for a ride in the Jag. Don't put your clothes on. Just get your coat." Whoa. I said, "I get cold really easy. I'm going to put my clothes on." No clothes." Well, I put my clothes on, and I followed Harriet out, and we got in the Jaguar, and we drove around White Plains, and we drove around New Rochelle, and at one particular stoplight, it turned from yellow to red to green to yellow to red to green, and Harriet and I were eye to eye, and she was asking me, "Do you know Brian's gay?" "Yeah," I said, I know. "Have you met any of the guys?" "No," I said, "I haven't met any of them." "What about you?" she said. "Oh, well, I haven't ever been with a woman." "No?" "I'd like to," I said. And she looked at me and she said, "I think we should." Whoa. "Really?" "Yes, I think we should," she said. I don't really know what we do." "Oh, we'll take care of that." And she pointed the Jaguar right to Rye, and we got to the house. And by that time, my legs were shaking, and I said, Harriet, I've got to have scotch. I can't do it. And so she poured me a beaker full of scotch. Oh, sweet relief. I drank it and it burned me, but I felt like I could actually do what we were going to do. So we crept upstairs so no one would hear, and we got into the daughter's little tiny bed. And it was great. She was beautiful and sleek and waxed and perfect. And we held each other, and I felt like Cary Grant, who had finally gotten Doris Day. Or Bob Cummings, remember the photographer getting one of his sexy models? I had her. What had taken me so long? It was great. I wasn't up on the rafters. I was right there with Harriet. I don't think we slept at all. But in the morning, there was another knock. Harriet! It was Mike, her husband. Oh, shit. Fuck, she's dead. Harriet, you and Jane get up. The kids are coming home any time now. Whoa. I said, wow, he must be really mad. Why would he be mad, Harriet said. Well, because we're here and... Oh, he's the one who sent me down here. Mike did? He didn't want to fuck me, so he said, try Jane. I think she might be interested. All these years I had my Gardald shield, and he saw right through it. I thought, well, he wasn't mad. But he came back and he said, come on now, Harriet. You guys get up. The kids are home. Harriet jumps out of the bed and puts on her coat, blows me a kiss from the door. I lay there again in the little bed. And then there's another knock. Jane? It's Brian. Oh, you look happy, he said, and he sat down on the bed and he took my hand. And I said, I am happy. I'm really happy. Guess what happened? What? Harriet and I made love last night. What? Well, she came into the room after everyone went to bed, and she took me for a ride in the Jag, and then we got in bed and we made love. Brian, I did it. Fuck my sister. Fuck, Harriet. She did it to hurt me. She has no boundaries. She takes everything of mine. I can't believe you did it. Oh shit, her husband sent her down there, and then she did it to hurt her brother. I thought she liked me. I thought she loved me. I loved her. I loved her already. Oh, fuck, Brian said. Just get dressed. The kids are here. We've got bagels and lox. And then I've got to go right back to Philadelphia. I have a business meeting tonight with a new client. A new client, I thought, or a boyfriend? It didn't matter. It didn't matter. I didn't feel guilty because I was so happy. But breakfast was weird. The kids, Mike's there, Harriet's there, Brian and I are here. Nobody says anything. We're all afraid to make eye contact because we eat our bagels and lox and cream cheese. And then after breakfast, Harriet says, Jane and I are going to go look at the garden. Mom, you never go out into the garden. Oh yeah, we're going out. I had scribbled my number on a piece of paper. I said, Harriet, I won't call you, but here's my number. I'd love to talk to you. It was great. She kind of looked distant, and she took the number, and Brian and I drove home. Harriet never called. The funny thing is, the intimacy with her made Brian and me closer. A couple weeks after the trip, Brian called. Harriet's in the mental hospital. Whoa. What happened? She was running naked through the streets of Rye and the police picked her up on a 5150. She's manic depressive. Whoa. I wondered if it had anything to do with what happened. I know it unlocked me. Maybe it had nothing to do with that night with you, Jane. She's always been crazy. She just has a diagnosis now. Not too long after that, I moved to New York to become a real lesbian. And eventually, Brian moved to New York, too. And eventually, he told me that Harriet was dead. She had died of pancreatic cancer really quickly. I had seen her once with Brian. She was bloated and pale, and she had lost that fierce, wide-eyed, engaged look. She was glazed over, and now she was dead. I'll always be grateful to Harriet. In her silver Jaguar, she rescued me. She peeled off the shield that I was carrying for so many years. I'm no longer terrified of who I am.
So before I start, I need your help. Even though this is a monologue, I'm going to cast you all as one body of the gods, the universe, so and the powers that be. So please, if I call out to you, feel free to respond. Got it? Got it. Hey. I'm so stressed out. Oh my God. The house, the kids, teenagers. Did I mention teenagers? My body, clients, work, money, everything. I need to get away, far away, to some isolated cabin in the woods to just calm down and chill out, sort myself out, maybe do some writing, perhaps. But on the way there, I'm going to stop at Grace Cathedral and walk the labyrinth for some peace and guidance. As I do, 8 words come to me, clear as day. Breathe, let go, trust, slow down, be, enjoy, love, thank. Wow, that's good. I feel better. But how am I going to remember that when I'm stressed next time? It's like my new mantra. What are these words? I might need your help. Okay, there's got to be an acronym here somewhere. Breathe, let go, trust, slow down, be, enjoy, love, thank. BLT's belt. Not great, but not bad. It's silly, but at least it's easy to remember. We'll just call it BLT for short. Help me remember that. Okay, if I ever get stressed, I'll just have a BLT. So, 2 days later, here I am at this isolated cabin, alone, thank God. I am just getting healthy. I'm enjoying this green smoothie. I'm made from wild greens and fruit. I picked the greens myself. I must say it's delicious. And you know what they say? They say that the mega nutrients in these wild greens, they're so much better for you, so much more potent and absorbable when they're blended. So I got that going for me. So it is. So, oh, hi, Wanda. Yeah, no, I got everything I need. I got towels and sheets, and in fact, don't even worry about breakfast this morning for me. I've made this huge blender full. In fact, try it. You'll love it. It's so good. It's so good for you. Yeah. I'm a chef. Yes. It's great. Oh, but I was going to ask, though, is there cell service? No? No phone? You're right. That's better. I'm here to get away. All right. Okay. Yeah, so see you tonight. Have a good time in town. You'll be gone all day. I'm great. Okay. Sorry for the interruption. Where was I? Oh yes, this is so good. I feel so good. Oh God, I feel so good. Oh, that thing about them being more potent. That's a good thing unless what you picked is poison. Oh, oh God. Oh.
BLT.
BLT. Thank you. Here I am on the bathroom floor dying. What were the words? BLT. Okay. Wait, it was a sandwich. Right. Okay, a B. What was the B stand for? Breathe. Breathe. Oh! I can barely breathe. Oh my God, poison hemlock that killed Socrates. That stops your breathing? Or was it your heart it stops? Either way, not good. Oh God. Wait, what was the next? Let go? I can't let go. I don't want to let go of this world. Trust? I can't trust this. Oh, but the BLT is the only thing that works. It's the only thing that eases the fear and the pain. So I keep going. Oh. And I'm okay for a moment until I realize I could die today. How could I be so stupid? It looked like carrot tops. That's in the parsley family, I know that. Isn't everything the same family? That should all be edible, right? No? Wrong? Wrong. Dead wrong. Speaking of family, I have a 14-year-old daughter to raise. I can't die. I've barely started to live. Oh, no wonder. I gave her some of the smoothie and she's driving to town. Oh my God. If she's having anywhere near this reaction, she's driving, she's dead. It's one thing to kill myself. But how can I live with killing someone else? If there was ever a time for a BLT. Oh my God. Okay. Breathe. Let go. Trust. Oh, this is good. At least I'm not so stressed I'm choking on my vomit or I'm going to have a heart attack. Maybe I'll be okay. Oh my God. I remember! Oh my God, that did work. I brought with me clay and psyllium and charcoal. I always bring that in case of food poisoning when I travel. Would you say this qualifies as food poisoning? Yeah, okay. I can't even see. That must be the liver. Oh, there it is. Whoa! Oh, maybe I'm going to be okay. Oh my God. Maybe I'll live. But I think my salvation is just staying right in the present moment. Oh my God. So this is where joy is. This is where bliss is. This is where unconditional love is. Oh my God, this is so wonderful. But kind of scary. No control. Good. When I live in the future, now there's a sense of control. It's a false sense, but, you know, better than nothing. Or living in the past, regretting. We all know that's useless. But now that I'm dying, I actually, for the first time as I can remember, I'm feeling really totally alive. As I'm having this near-death experience, I realize I've been having a near-life experience for like 50 years or so. Oh my God. Okay, powers that be. I promise if I live through this, I'm going to live differently. I'll let go more. I'll let go of ego and fear and judgments and excuses. I'll even let go of my defensiveness. Yeah, hey, I feel pretty good. I got this. I think I got this. You know, maybe I don't have to go that far. You never know when you might need a defense or two to get you through. Oh, no! Oh, my God, this instant feedback thing from you guys. When I hold on to something that doesn't serve me, I suffer. And when I let it go, I'm set free. Wow. Maybe I don't have to be dying to surrender my defenses. I was the queen of defensiveness. I built so many walls around myself to protect from anyone ever getting mad at me, thinking I wasn't good enough. And these walls were made out of fear and excuses, too much talking and trying, false selves, and a few extra layers of fat. I wanted so much to be seen for who I really was, but this barely showed through these walls. I can't live like that anymore. Okay, time for, you know what? BLT time? Okay. Breathe, let go, trust. Wow. I actually feel like I could trust it'll be okay if I die. My daughter, Sonora, will be okay. Even if Wanda dies, as crazy as that sounds, it'll be okay. Trusting this much sounds crazy, but it feels sweet, ecstatic. Oh, I'm actually enjoying lying here dying on the bathroom floor looking out at the beautiful trees. I love myself, even though I was careless. Can I love and accept even this about myself? Of course. Yes. I can. Especially when I think of someone I love being in this situation. Of course I'd still love them. I'd give them extra love. And then I give myself that extra love. And even in my current state, sickness, dying on the bathroom floor, I'm extremely thankful. In the most intense parts of this wild experience, I'm losing myself. But not all of me. Not my inner true self, but coats of selves that I've piled on over the years for safety, for protection, comfort. With every fear that I face and walk through, I'm a little freer. I drop false selves like old layers of skin, melting and falling away, leaving new, fresh, tender skin beneath. The illusion of security is gone, giving way to vulnerability, which turns out is my new strength. I don't have an ounce of energy left to make excuses for what happened today. My defenses are gone, and I think I like myself better without them.
This night our boys cabin B1 dated girls cabin G3.
Yeah.
Israeli dance, which I can do okay, and rock dancing, which I can't do as okay, but enjoy anyway. Pass the apple and lots of sometimes nervous fun. Now I'll cozy in the sleeping bag. I like everyone amazingly enough. No bullies here like in school. Here, you even drop a ball in a game and nobody yells at you, except maybe to say, "That's all right." Everyone's even nice to the retarded kid. Doug enters, beaming at us. "Teeth brushed?" "Yeah," we chorus. "How'd your date go?" We all hoot and cheer. Who wouldn't want Doug for an older brother? Doug not only likes us, he never runs out of good stories to tell or jokes or advice, and not the boring lecture kind either. I never really wanted to have brothers or sisters. I mean, sure it gets lonely sometimes, but I'm mostly okay by myself. Seems like everyone I know, if they have an older brother or sister, they're always getting picked on, and if they have a younger one, then they're always stuck having to take care of them, and the kid's always whining about something. I used to wish my mom and dad would be together again before I got old enough to see how awful that would be. My dad always talking about my mom like she's some kind of stupid retard, and my mom being much more polite. She always saying, starting with, "I know he's your father, but..." And then there was Jeannie, my dad's girlfriend, when I was 7. So different from my mom, so American, pretty, graceful, always smoking. It was easy to fall for her. Me and my dad would go over her place, and I could stay up late watching monster movies while they messed around in her room. And she bought me all those toy soldiers that you send away for her in the back of a comic book. And one night I told my mom, I said, "I like you, but I love Jeannie." Ouch. Damn. Oh, that had to hurt. Well, my mom, amazingly enough, she didn't blow up or anything. She just said, "Jeannie's very glamorous and gives you toys. You go over to your father's house on weekends and you play and have fun. Here you have to go to school. I have to teach 200 kids a day, come home, feed you, make sure you do your homework, take you to the therapist, take you to the Jewish center, take you to the Russian ballet. I have no one to help me. Your father promised to pay $40 a month child support, but I had to take him to court to get it. And it's not easy raising you. You're wild and want to always have your own way. I get very tired and I'm not always fun. When you're older, you'll know what real love is." And then not long after that, me and my dad go to Jeannie's house. She opens the door and starts yelling at him about something, and her words are slurred and hateful, and she's grabbing onto the inside of the door to keep from falling over. And she flicks a lit cigarette on top of my dad's head, and I jump up and knock it off, saying, run down the stairs, saying, "Let's get out of here!" My dad follows me down the stairs, saying, "Yeah, let's get out of here." Lights go out. "Hey, Doug." It's Eli. "Yeah." "How do you keep from getting nervous when you ask a girl to dance?" I sure like Eli. He's not afraid to ask anything. "Of course you're nervous. She's all pretty and attractive. You don't know what's going to happen. You might get turned down. How could you help being nervous? The question is, how do you act when you're nervous? Some people get all loud and obnoxious. Other people get shy and timid. Some people pretend nervously not to be nervous. Some people are just themselves, plain and simple. If you were a girl, which one would you want?" "The loud and obnoxious one," yells Erin. We all crack up. "Oh, really?" continues Doug, that voice in the darkness. "You can go take a chance, maybe get turned down, go take another chance. Imagine being a girl and just having to sit there waiting and hoping for someone to ask you to dance. And maybe the other girls around you are getting asked, but not you. And you have to just sit there. So next time, try to ask all the girls to dance, not just the one you have a crush on. And I guarantee you will be less nervous. Oh, I never thought of that. He's so right. Doug does it again. Hey, Doug. Eli again. What would he want to know now? Just one more, guys, okay? And then we all go to sleep. Okay. I know how the sperm fertilizes the egg and makes a baby, but how exactly does the sperm get into the egg? The female has an opening between her legs called a vagina. The man inserts his penis into that opening. The sperm comes out and goes into the egg.
You're right!
Inserts. So what are we, a bunch of Legos? I remember my mom telling me about this stuff. She said, when a man and woman love each other, the sperm comes out of the man and goes into the egg in the woman and makes a baby. I imagine the overflowing emotions, the hugs and the kisses kind of swirling into an invisible loving ghost, and that ghost transporting the magic ingredients from one body to another. But this, oh no. I push out, Doug, so they don't have to love each other to have a baby? Well, it's certainly better for the baby if they love each other, and it's certainly better for them if they love each other, but babies get made, love or no love. Well, like my parents are divorced and they really don't like each other, and they had me, so... Well, that's a big question, Mike. Some people love each other and then things change and they no longer love each other, or maybe even dislike each other. Other folks are more fortunate and love each other their whole lives. Oh. Good night, guys. Good night, Doug. Oh, now it all makes such sickening sense. The leering, the flirting, the taunts, the catcalls, the innuendos, all boiling down to the same dirty joke which isn't the least bit funny. And here's stupid me walking around thinking that even stupid people, even ugly people, if they had a baby, had proof that somebody loved them. It's just proof that a penis got stuck in between a girl's legs for whatever reason. God. This is God's doing. That son of a bitch. God. I knew you didn't exist before, but now you really, really don't exist, you son of a bitch!